Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So good to have you here. I'm really excited about this recipe. So I don't yet know what I want to call this recipe because it kind of comes with a little bit of a backstory. So here we go. So I haven't told you guys yet, but I recently started dating somebody and it's been amazing. Like, we've been having such a great time, and he's actually a really good friend of mine that I've known for the past couple of years. We've been having a blast going on little dates and eating together and going out to eat, mostly eating. We like to eat. And after a few weeks, we realized that we really needed to both reel it in because we were just eating whatever we wanted. We were on cloud nine with each other. We were having fun. We were enjoying going out with each other because it was like, you know, the beginning stages of a new relationship, and it was a lot of fun. But like I said, we both realized that it was time to reel it in with like the sugar. And so he is an amazing cook, and so he's been creating these really healthy vegan dishes for me. And the other day he made this one recipe that was absolutely freaking phenomenal. It was like this roasted squash dish with this pureed cauliflower on the bottom, and he did like grilled vegetables and all sorts of stuff on it. But the thing is that his version was very complicated. He used a lot of different ingredients. He used a lot of different spices and herbs, and honestly, it just would not make a very good tutorial if I tried to show you exactly how he made it. It was amazing, but I wanted to create something that had sort of the same flavor profile as his dish without it being like 20,000 ingredients for you guys. So I think I accomplished it. I made this dish and I really don't know what to call it yet. I think I'm just gonna call it like a healthy vegan dinner recipe or something, because it doesn't really have anything like it that I can think of, but it's just so good. I was really happy with it, and so I hope that you guys enjoy, and I'll go ahead and get started on sharing with you guys how I made this. Okay guys, so to begin this recipe, go ahead and preheat your oven to 400 degrees. Since the squash is going to take the longest to cook, you want to go ahead and start that before anything else. So here I'm using an acorn squash, but butternut and kabocha work great too. To begin, go ahead and cut this squash in half, and taking a spoon, just gently scrape the insides out so that you can take out all those seeds and stringy stuff. I'm actually not really sure what this is called, so I'm just going to call it stringy stuff. And then once that's done, pop your seeds into the compost and lay your squash halves face down into a baking dish and pop that baby into an oven for about half an hour or so, depending on how big your squash is. Here I'm just using my phone to kind of keep track of the time, that sort of thing, so I don't burn my squash. Okay, so while that's doing its thing, we're going to start the cauliflower puree. Obviously you need some cauliflower, so go ahead and chop up a full head into some smaller pieces. Once your cauliflower is all chopped up, you want to go ahead and put some olive oil into a large pan and saute the cauliflower until it's nice and golden brown. While that's sauteing to a golden brown, go ahead and add in some veggie stock. So I didn't have any pre-made veggie stock, so I have this veggie bouillon that I'm going to make a broth out of by adding about a tablespoon to some hot water and just stirring it up. That'll create my veggie broth, and once my cauliflower is nice and brown around the edges, I'll just add my broth into the pan and let that cook down until the cauliflower is nice and soft. Okay, so the cauliflower is nice and soft now, so go ahead and take a blender or a food processor or whatever you have and just transfer your cooked cauliflower into it. Use just a tiny bit of the pan liquid and add it in, and the trick is you don't want to add too much of this liquid because you want the puree to be nice and thick. I'm using my spatula to help blend this cauliflower because it's being a little bit of a pain in the butt. And okay, so your puree should be nice and thick, and now we're going to add in some corn. So just take a knife and run it along the sides of an ear of corn, and that'll help the kernels to pop right off the cob. Once that's done, just saute the kernels in the same pan we used for the cauliflower, and then transfer them into the cauliflower puree and just fold them in with a spoon. Don't worry about blending it. You don't want this part to be all blended up. So by this time, our squash should be just about done cooking, so go ahead and take it out of the oven and wait a bit before handling it because you want it to cool off a little bit. You don't want to burn your fingers. And then, totally optional, but I sprinkled mine with some cinnamon and I think it tasted amazing. So again, totally optional, but that is what I'm doing right here. Okay, and so for the final step, we are going to make a vinaigrette that's going to go over everything, and it's so simple. So just use a couple of tablespoons of olive or avocado oil and a tablespoon of vinegar. I'm using balsamic, the juice of half a lime or a lemon, a little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper, and about a tablespoon of brown sugar. Go ahead and whisk this together and you have your vinaigrette. Okay, so after a few minutes, our squash has cooled off, so go ahead and cut your squash into quarters, and the rind should just very easily peel off. I'm just using my fingers to peel it, and then once the rind is off, I'll go ahead and use a knife to cut it into smaller pieces. Now it's time to plate up this bad boy, so start with our puree. Just spoon the cauliflower corn puree onto a plate of your choosing, and then lay the squash pieces right on top of the puree. Totally optional again, but feel free to garnish with some fresh herbs. I have fresh dill, so that is just what I'm sprinkling over the top to make it look nice and fancy. And then finally go ahead and finish by drizzling on a bit of your homemade vinaigrette, and then honey, that will complete this dish. So it was a really simple but impressive recipe, and let me tell you guys, it is satisfying and delicious. I did try this out right after I filmed this, and it was amazing. So I hope you guys try this out. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you guys on my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care. Alright guys, so that does it for this video. I hope that it was easy enough for you guys to follow. I hope you make it and enjoy it, and if you do, let me know down below. That way I can talk to you guys about it. I really enjoyed it, and so I hope you guys did too. Also, let me know what I should call this dish. I really don't know what I should call it other than like roasted squash over cauliflower puree sort of deal. I don't know. I'm really bad at titles, can you tell? So anyway guys, let me know down below, and I will see you on my next video. Take care. Bye. What was this? I was like, whatever. I'm gonna leave now. Okay, bye. 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 Bye.
Changes coming down.